Yeah, still some guys I think that's questionable, but for the most part, we're getting our roster healthy.
Frank practiced again today?
Yes.
Seemed like he was bothering yesterday. Okay.
Yeah, well, he moved pretty well today, so hopefully he'll be able to go tomorrow.
What's it like now having the 2 preseason games kind of like in close? It's not a week of practice. What's that going to be like for you guys?
Well, just, I think it's more realistic to the season now. And so we get to see how we can play, with games starting to string together. But I really like the fact that we had 3 days of good focused practices before we had to get to the next one after the stinker we had the other night.
When you say focus, what did you want to focus on?
Transition defense was a big emphasis, defensive awareness, communication and understanding our coverages, closeouts and discipline on closeouts. Offensively, we talked about running, spacing, reliable spacing, executing our actions with purpose and force, and ball movement.
How important are the next few games when you look at who's going to be your point guard?
Say that again?
How important are the next few games? Obviously,
huge. These guys are battling, and they've all done a good job, so they're making it very tough on me, and that's a good thing for me. But that's that position for us is going to be at a premium, and so I'm giving them all a look and an opportunity to play some minutes, and hopefully they can sort that out for me.
Does Dennis have the edge, or would you not say that?
I don't know who has the edge. We still got 2 games to go.
What do you want to see from Dennis?
Same thing when I said to the other guys. Picking up, defending, pushing the pace, getting us organized, while staying aggressive and making other people better.
What did you see from Alfred the other night?
Just Alfred did Alfred. The only thing that I think was frustrating for him is he didn't finish those chippies around the rim. He had probably 5 or 6 around the basket that he usually makes. But the way he pushes the ball, the way he competes on the ball, those are the things I really like about him.
I think sometimes when fans are watching a game, they're looking at one game like plus minus, and they see his minus, and they see Frank's plus. Do you guys evaluate that?
We do, but at the same time, plus minus isn't just that one guy. His plus minus score is based on the other 4 guys that's on the floor with him. So based on the groups that he's out there with a lot of times, that could affect his personal plus minus. So we look at it, but we also try to keep a realistic lens on how a guy is playing, in comparison to another guy.
Are you a point guard position as important to be a scorer?
More than anything, he's got to be a guy that's a threat, that can put pressure on the defense, I feel like. But the biggest thing is he guarding his position? Is he pushing the pace? Is he getting us organized? And those are the most important areas for me. But at the same time, I feel like you still have to be a threat out there from that position.
Would you be willing to, and I know you hate using positions, theoretically have like RJ play the 1 at times, essentially be the main guy?
Absolutely. Things? Yeah, I've thrown him at that position a couple times already. He played some of that in college, and I think it adds another layer to how dynamic he can be, especially having somebody that big that can switch things and do some different things defensively. I'm going to sprinkle that in here and there.
Have you liked what you've seen when he's been at that spot?
Yeah, I do. He's really poised. He looks comfortable. The kid likes having the ball in his hands. So, and he's unselfish. He finds people. He understands that he knows our plays from that position. So, I feel very comfortable if I have to throw him there.
You plan on contract. Does that at all play into wanting to see him more?
Well, no. I think again, this is much more about. I feel like our guys have a feel for Frank, but we still want to play him like everybody else and give him his opportunities and have him battle for the position. But our decision making based on playing time and things like that is solely going to be based on earning it.
Were you named captains?
No, they're kind of making it out for me. I like for that stuff to happen organically, but what's coming out of it is obviously Marcus is really stepping forward. Julius is stepping forward a lot. And Taj and Wayne are also guys that's really stepping forward. And then I always like for my point guards to be leaders, regardless of if they have a title of captain or not. They have to be the guys that's getting us organized and understanding everyone's job.
So you won't have actual official captains?
Yeah, at some point.
Before the season, you think? Or?
We'll see.
You mentioned that you didn't like how you guys were organized the last game. When you look at that stuff, how much do you put on the point guard for that, or is it everybody?
I put a lot of it on the point guards, but it's a team responsibility, and knowing where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there is huge. I mean, there was a bunch of times last game where our point guards took the ball out of bounds after a made basket, and that's not what we do. Our big guys take the ball out of bounds, and so just that alone had us all over the place. And I knew that our focus was off just looking at the multiple times that happened.
Do you think some of that was playing in the Garden for the first time as Knicks?
Sure, absolutely, because it was almost, it felt like a regular season game because we had a sellout crowd. I mean, think about that. How many teams are selling out preseason games? And so, which is awesome. But I think we came out like gangbusters, and then once they punched us, it was like we just could never get our wind back and get our legs underneath us. So hopefully, now that they've gone through it, this next game they can just settle in and play basketball.
David, what was
Who?
Reggie, the shooting inside.
Yeah, he's coming along. He's coming along. He's been making good strides. I don't know the timetable on him at all, but he's definitely starting to do a little more.
David, what was your reaction to the LeBron tweet? It's gotten a lot of play on social media, obviously.
No reaction. I don't have any comment on that.
Thanks, guys.